Oh my gosh, this next road trip is going to have so many late games. AOS sometimes bites when you're in central time zones. Welcome to Mission Control. Today is May 1st, 2023. And we are a full month into this point. The Astros are sitting at 15-13, which is kind of, again, where I thought we were going to be. Eyeing the return of Brantley soon, which adding another lefty contact bat in the middle of that lineup. At the front, middle, late, you can kind of plug him in wherever. I feel like you're going to get decent production. Will be nice adding him soon. Hopefully, that end of May / early June, Altuve is still going to be, eyeing a return around that point too. Right now, as it sits, man, the Rangers are atop the AL West by 2 games over Houston. I don't think there's any reason to panic over any of that stuff. The Rangers have been playing really good baseball. Their pitchers have all been pretty healthy and made some really good plays. They did come into Houston earlier in the month and took 2 out of 3, which, they're playing good ball, and their lineup is solid. When their pitching is healthy, they're solid. The bullpen was on a run. I think the bullpen kind of has faltered a little bit as of late. So maybe some true colors on the Rangers' part as far as their bullpen goes. We'll see. This week, though, man, we got the Giants are in town after this Phillies series to start the month, and there's 3 pretty fun little things going on. Obviously, Monday, Space City Day, which I should have thrown on my Space City jersey, but I didn't. So we got Space City Monday today with the fanny pack giveaway. I kind of wish I was going because I kind of want a fanny pack. I don't know why, I just kind of do. Tuesday is Dollar Dog Night. Always a good time. And then Wednesday is the World Series replica rings for Altuve. I think it's Altuve this Wednesday. So 3 days of Giants baseball, 3 days of fun little ballpark things going on. Obviously, the big story out of last night was Jose Urquidy leaving the game a little early with the right shoulder. This was one of his little quotes afterwards. I felt a little bit of pain in the back of my shoulder while he was throwing that last inning. He mentioned that he's trying to throw a sinker on the inner half to a righty, wound up being way outside, and then he spiked a changeup way away because he short armed it, and Maldonado in the dugout kind of reacted pretty quick, so he came out of the game, which obviously the Astros were able to hold on to a win there, salvage a victory in that series against the Phillies, which was good because, for a moment I thought we were going to get swept by the Phillies, which, I'm sure they probably had a little bit of revenge mode on their mind and make sure they didn't want to lose any more games in May Park. But getting that win last night was big, and that was a big win. He did some range of motion tests post-game with the team doctor. No issues came out of it, apparently. And they were kind of waiting to see how he felt today. So we'll see. I haven't seen anything as of recording on Urquidy's shoulder. But, last couple years, or 2021, I think he was on the IL for 2 different occasions, both short stints, but with shoulder inflammation, shoulder discomfort. So it could be something that was acting up on that end. They did dig into that, asked him a little bit if it felt similar to that time, in which he said no. So, we'll see. If he does go down for a little bit or requires an IL stint, obviously guys like Brandon Belak, who has come in and spot started for Houston in the past. JP France or Forrest Whitley could also come up from AAA. Those 3 names are currently on the 40-man roster, so they could fill a void if Urquidy had to make a 10-day stint. We'll see. Speaking of injury stuff, nothing's really changed from last time. I guess, we've made some progress in some things. Brantley's still working in AAA on a rehab assignment, working some first base still eyeing potential first base reps, which only adds to utility on the team, which I think is a good thing. But we'll probably get through this week. Maybe Brantley joins the team on the road trip, because it is kind of a long road trip. But it might be one of those things where they try to maximize as much time as they can on his rehab days. Chas McCormick also started rehab work, this time in AA. Probably will spend a week down there before working his way back up. So he'll probably be, I think he started his assignment on Saturday. Could be wrong on that. So it might be one of those things where he joins the team halfway through the road trip. We'll see on that. Over the weekend, Altuve could be spotted in the dugout without a cast or brace on his hand, on his thumb. Could expect to see him start doing some rehab and trainings soon, if he's not already. I don't know if he's touched a bat at all as he's been coming out of the brace and out of the cast and whatnot. We'll see, but we're in May. They were talking about potentially a late May, more likely in early June. But if he's good to start training on stuff, he might be able to make a date in May. So we'll see on that. Lance is still on track for a June return. He did do some light mound work while the Astros were in Tampa Bay. So, or I guess out in front of the mound, but light mound work. Could expect him to start ramping it up soon. I think probably another 2 weeks of throwing program. Then he'll start doing some simulated games, bullpen work, and then probably make 3 or 4 rehab assignments in the minors as he gears up for a June return. Probably not expecting him in an early June return, probably more of a mid to late June return. But I think he should be still on track for June based off the information that I've read. Last time I did one of these, I put Hunter Brown on the thumbnail, hoping it would give him some good fortune, some good vibes. And since I did that, his last few starts have been fantastic. So I maybe should have added him on this one again. But 30 in a third innings, 32 strikeouts, a ton of ground ball outs, and is 3-0, a 2.37 ERA through his 5 starts so far this year. He's limiting base runners with a 1.05 whip. So the dude has been pretty solid so far in 2023, which has been nice. I think could definitely find himself in the rookie of the year conversations at a month in with that performance. Hopefully he continues it, especially with Urquidy going potentially down. Getting some of that starting rotation depth tested. We'll see. But Hunter Brown has been pretty solid so far this year, which has been nice. Now if we could get some more of the bats to kind of start clicking a little bit. These last couple series, man, it's been kind of rough. You win that series finale in Tampa off of what really was an error on the run scored. And then you only score 1 against the Phillies on the Jeremy Pena home run in that first game back. So, you scored 2 in 2 games, but not really. And then you play that second game, and you don't score very well. And it's like, man, you've had 4 days of kind of bad offensive baseball, which has been kind of worrisome in a way. Just a bunch of kind of cold streaks kind of all hitting at the same time, I guess. Early on, Jose Abreu was getting some base hits and trying to get some runs, but lately he's been really struggling with that timing. They made a note on the broadcast like he was behind on all the fastballs and in front of all the breaking and off-speed pitches, and you watch his at-bats and everything just looks a little off timing-wise, and so really need him to get going soon. Currently slashing 243, which 243 average is okay if your peripherals behind it are are solid. The problem is that his triple slash is 243, 276, 279. So having those two numbers behind the average on base percentage and slugging percentage in the 200s is not going to get it done from the first base perspective. So for anyone, really need to get him going. Finding a way to get on time on some fastballs would be huge for him. So we'll see. That's like number one on my Christmas list right now, is to get Jose Abreu rocking. Bregman, who kind of started the season slow with his batting average, but was still getting on base a ton. Like his batting average has gone up by like 35 points, I think, in like 3 weeks. So those batting average numbers are starting to rise for him, and hopefully some of his slugging numbers will start to come up a little bit too. I didn't make a good note on where they were and where they are, but he's still drawing a ton of walks, still getting on base, but would like to see some more slugging in that middle of the order from him. A guy who's been all of a sudden starts slugging pretty well, Jeremy Pena, has been squaring the ball pretty well as of late, which has been a nice addition to the production in that lineup. It's been much needed. Getting him to play solid shortstop and then start not just hitting some ground balls and finding a way on base occasionally, but seeing him like really hit the baseball hard. Has launched a few over the wall, and he's been a good addition to the production. I think this week alone, like he was like my top fantasy producer. Even he's had a really strong week. Hopefully he can kind of continue some of that success moving onwards. And then obviously probably the hero of the last 2-3 weeks, Mauricio Dubon on his hitting streak. Sad to see it end, obviously. Never fun to see things end. But whenever one streak ends, it's just an opportunity for another one to start. So, hey, start swinging the wood again and go get you another one, big dog. Like, what he's done from a replacing Altuve's production. Honestly, he's done it. Like, he really kind of did. He might not have slugged a ton. He wasn't, hitting things up near the train track on occasion, but him getting on base and him hitting the ball hard and just providing a good at the ball skill and getting rewarded for it was big for some of those wins. I don't think we sweep Atlanta. I don't think we win 2 out of 3 in Tampa. I don't think we take 2 out of 3 in Pittsburgh without Dubon doing what he was doing. Some minor league stuff, just, we've kind of have 3 big outfield prospects at the top of our list currently, according to the MLB pipeline stuff. And high A, man, Drew Gilbert, he's continuing to just tear through it. His triple slash at 328, 403, 578, so just a nice little casual 345 in high A. Would love to see him get the move into double A once he's added a few more at bats. But he's been looking really good down there. So hopefully his soon-to-be teammate, Colin Barber, in 15 games at double A has an OPS of 919. So those two guys are hitting the ball hard. Another A-baller, Ryan Clifford, in 19 games, triple slash 333, 489, 493. Man, all 3 of those dudes are smoking the baseball right now, which is always great to see. You never want to see your top prospects not hitting the ball, obviously, but those 3 guys specifically have been crushing. Corey Lee's kind of got off to a slow start in AAA, but his numbers have kind of come back up to his baseline, which is good. I know the Astros play Maldonado like 80% of the time, so we're not seeing a ton of Diaz or Salazar, but I'm glad to see Lee getting the opportunity to play every day, which is good, and continue his development. I think that was kind of part of the plan, was to keep him down so he can play every day instead of bringing him up and only playing like 20% of the time. We'll see. This next road trip is kind of a long road trip, man. They're playing 3 teams. two AL West opponents. So we're going to Seattle over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Going south to the Angels for a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Off Thursday, I think. And then playing the White Sox. Back to the White Sox to get a 9-game road trip going. The road has been pretty kind to Houston so far this year, so maybe we can keep that going and go get some wins. Seattle's going to be tough just because their roster always plays Houston tough. I think they're debuting their City Connects, which I have mixed feelings on, but I did I was vibing with it. I didn't love the black pants. I'm in that kind of camp. I think the dark pants are maybe becoming a little bit too overly done on the City Connect stuff, but I do love the hat and the top. I like the black accents. I'm not huge on the pants, but maybe once I see it in a game, I'll become more of a fan. We'll see. But I think they're debuting their City Connect, which is always fun. Going down south to see the Angels play is always fun because of Trout and Ohtani, obviously. And then, man, the White Sox have really not been playing very good baseball as of late. So it'd be really nice to go into South Side and take that 3-game set. So, Seattle, I think, anytime you're playing in Seattle, I think you hope for a split. So as long as you win one in Seattle out on a 3-game, I think you're kind of okay. Obviously, you want to win 2. Taking 2 out of 3 in Seattle, 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles. And then I think, based off how the White Sox have been, I think trying to go for that 3 out of 3 there is like the goal. Don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously you want to win every game you play if you can, but I think just taking a Seattle series is good, and taking 2 out of 3 from the Angels is a good goal. And then you hopefully go for the sweep against the White Sox. So we'll see. It'd be really great if this kicks off a run for Houston in May, and we get back on top of the AL West and don't ever look back. So that's what this next road trip looks like. We'll see how that goes in Seattle. We got to get through the Giants first. Kicking off a 3-game set with the Giants tonight. I mentioned Space City Fanny Packs tonight, Dollar Dog tomorrow, and then World Series rings on Wednesday. The Giants are in town, which normally doesn't happen. This everyone plays everyone thing in 2023. I'm a big fan of because I think it's just a lot of fun. I think it's fun seeing every team get to play this year. So more on that, I guess, as the year goes on. We'll see how I feel about it at the end, but so far I really like it. That's all I got. Hopefully we take 2 out of 3 from the Giants here. Would love for a sweep, but 2 games back in the West. If you take 2 out of 3 from the Giants and the Rangers drop 1 or 2 this next set, would be really big for us. So this is Mission Control. Over and out.